Dear students, last class we were discussing about matter. Anything which is having space and which is having mass was called matter. And there we have seen that matter mainly it is having three states. One is solids, another one is liquids, and the third one is gases. Today we are going to discuss about the properties of matter. What are the properties of matter? We are discussing only about the states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, before starting, I would like to explain the properties. Mainly, there are 8 properties we are going to discuss. The first one is shape. Okay, shape, already you know what is the shape of matter, whether it is a solid or liquid or gases, whether they are having any shape, any particular shape, or whether they are not having any particular shape. That's what we are going to discuss in the first property. In second property, we are discussing about volume. Okay, I think already you know what is volume. You have studied in mathematics what is volume. The space required for an object to exist is called volume. Already we know in the definition of the matter itself we have seen that if the object, any material which is required a space to occupy. So how much space required to occupy, that is called a volume. Then third property is compressibility. Compressibility. Compressibility means what? When we are compressing, whether the body is able to change their size. For example, if I compress this duster is made up of wood. If I apply any forces, the shape of the duster is not going to be changed, or the size of the duster is not going to be changed. So I can say that it is not compressible. But if it is made up of sponge, if I press, what will happen? The size will become smaller. Or if you are taking a rubber, then if you are stretching that one, sometimes the size can be increased or size can be decreased. So that property is called compressibility. Then fourth one, fluidity. Okay, I don't know whether you have heard about this one or not. Fluidity. Anyway, last class I have said that the molecules are able to move from their position to another. So if they are moving, that one is called fluidity. The ability to flow is called fluidity. Whether the molecules are able to change their position from one position to the another position. This characteristics is called just we are calling as fluidity. Then fifth one is free surface. Free surface means when we are considering an object, suppose if I consider this duster is having some free surfaces. That means without any contact surfaces are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 surfaces are there. Okay, so I can say that this is having 6 free surfaces. So sometimes there will be 2 surfaces, 3 surfaces, etc. can be there. Sometimes only 1 surface can be there. So the number of free surfaces, that is called a free space surface. Then sixth one, intermolecular space. Already yesterday or last class we have discussed what is intermolecular space. Already we know the molecules, they are made up of atoms and these molecules are arranged in a proper order. The space between them, how much distance between them, that is called intermolecular space. Then seventh one, intermolecular force. That means if the molecules are closer, then what will happen? The force will be high, as I said. The force of attraction between the molecules are called intermolecular forces. Then the last one is moment. Moment, that means molecules, that means whether it is solid, liquid or gases, the molecules are arranged in a proper order. Whether these molecules can move from their position or not able to move from their position, that is called moment. These are the 8 properties of the matter what we are going to discuss. I hope you understood what is the meaning of these 8 properties. Now let's go to the solid, liquid and gases. We are just classifying this one. The first one, shape, about shape. Solid is having a definite shape. Solid is having a definite shape. That means whatever solid material we are having, there should be a shape should be there for the solids. Then about liquid, if we are comparing about shape, liquids do not have a definite shape. Liquids do not have a definite shape. Liquids will be following the shape of the container. If you are taking a glass tumbler, you will be getting the water in the form of the shape of that glass tumbler. If it is another type of conical bottle is there, then that shape will be just conical type. If it is spherical bottle is there, that shape of that liquid in that container will be shape of that container. So liquids are going to take the shape of the container or bottle in which they are filled. Okay. Then gases do not have any definite shape. Gases do not have any definite shape. How much space we are giving, that much space the gases will be taking. If we are opening the spray bottle, the entire room will be filled with that gas. Okay. Then next one, the second property is volume. So solids are having a definite volume. Solids are having a definite volume. Surely if they are having a definite shape, they should have a definite volume. Then liquids, yes, the liquids are having a definite volume, even though they are not having a definite shape and they are having a definite volume. The volume, what will be the volume? Volume will be the volume of the container. Volume will be the volume of the container. Then in the case of gases, the gases do not have any volume. They do not have any definite volume. If we are opening when the spray is inside the spray bottle, the volume of the gas is volume of that bottle. But if you press the bottle, the gases will come out and it will spread over the room. At that time, what will be the volume? The volume will be the volume of the room. Got it now? That. The third one is compressibility. Whether the solid form or liquid form or gaseous form are compressed or not. How we will explain this one? For example, solids, they are not compressible. See, I am having a marker in my hand. I am applying some force. I am not able to compress. The solids are not able to compress. Why they are not able to compress? Since they do not have space between the molecule. The last class we have seen. Solids, the molecules are tightly packed. So when we are applying force, at that time what will happen? There is no space to go. That means if I take two marker pens, if I keep closer, there is no space between them. So if I apply force also, they are not able to compress. But if they were having a space, when I apply force, they will come closer. At that time, I am compressing this one. So solids do not compressible. Then liquids are compressible. Sometimes when we are taking the medicine or something inside a syringe, and if we compress, sometimes a small compressibility can be shown by the liquid stage. Then the third stage is gaseous state. Gaseous state means they are compressible. They are easily compressible. For example, if you take a balloon and if you blow air into the balloon, after that if you press it, at that time what will happen? The shape of the balloon is going to be changed. So we can say that gases are highly compressible. Another one example is that the gas cylinder we are having in our kitchen. Actually, it is a huge amount of gas is there inside the gas cylinder, but we are compressing that gas into a small size. That means only in the size of that cylinder the gas is able to occupy. That means we are able to compress the gas. Okay. Then again, the fourth one is fluidity. Whether the molecules can change their position. Whether the molecules can change their position. The fluidity. That means in the case of solid, there is no flow. That means the molecules are not able to change their position. So they are not able to flow. They are rigid. That means they are very hard. They are rigid. Since they are rigid, they are not able to change their position. Then in the case of liquid, they are able to flow. They can be flow. Okay, but flowing means only inside that system they are able to flow. They cannot go out of that particular level. Then next one, the gaseous state, they are easily flow. The air, that means air is an example of gases. We know wind, when wind comes, the air is flowing very fast. Is it not? So easily the air is since they are having very large space in between, they are having more space to move anywhere. They are freely moving anywhere. So we can say that the gases are easily flowing. Okay. We are moving to the next one, fifth one, free surfaces. Okay, so number of free surface. If it is a solid form, the solid form can be have more any number of free surface. Can be 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. How much number? Many number of free faces can be there for a solid. Then regarding liquid, only one free face is available. That means if we take some liquid in a glass, we know that the three sides or the wall will be attached with the liquid, and the bottom side of the container also, or glass also attached with the liquid. Only the top side is free without touching anywhere. Only the top side is free. So only one free face will be there for liquids. Okay. Then the gases, they do not have any free faces. That means if they are in a room, they will be attached with all sides, including all the walls and the floor and roof. They will be in contact. So they do not have any free face. Okay. Then next one is intermolecular space. What is intermolecular space? Already I said it is the space between the molecules. Regarding solids, these molecules are tightly packed. Since these molecules are tightly packed, we are neglecting that event. That means negligible intermolecular space, or we can say that there is no intermolecular space. Then in the case of liquids comparing with the solid, some space will be there, and that's why they are able to flow, but they are able to flow only within the liquids. They are not able to flow outside. Okay. Then regarding gases, they are having a large space. That means they are able to move. That if they are able to easily flow means what? They are having large space. That's why they are able to move. Then the seventh one is intermolecular force. Intermolecular force. Intermolecular force is inversely proportional to the intermolecular space. When the space is less, the force will be maximum, and when the space is high, the force will be minimum. So regarding solids, the space is very less or negligible. There is no space. That means they are strongly attracted. That means they are having very high, very strong intermolecular force. But regarding the liquids, we know that some space is there. When space is increasing, what will happen? This strongness of the force will be reducing. So what will happen? They are not so strong. They are not so strong, but they are having intermolecular force. Then at last, gaseous state. That means intermolecular force is very weak, or we can say that there is no. That means there is also, we can neglect that force of attraction. Since the molecules are very far apart, the force between them will be very weak. Then eighth one, the last property is moment of the molecule. What is the moment of the molecule? Moment of the molecule means whether they are able to change their position. So only they can vibrate. That means in the solids, there is no much movement. They are not able to change their position, but without changing their position, these molecules can have a small vibration. Then regarding the liquids, they are move around within the liquid. They are not able to go out of the liquid. They are move around within the liquid. And the last one is moves freely in all directions. Gaseous form means their moment is maximum. They are able to move in any direction. They can move upside, downside, whatever be the direction. In any direction they are able to move. Okay, these are the properties of solid, liquid, and gases. And regarding solids, we can say that solid have a property. They are having a texture. They are having a texture. That means what? Sometimes when we are touching this one, sometimes they are having a definite texture. For example, wood block will be very hard. We can say when I take this duster, this part will be very hard. Okay, and sometimes if I touch this sponge surface, it will be soft. This property is called the texture. Okay, texture. So these are the properties. So what are the properties of matter? Properties of matter are shape, volume, compressibility, fluidity, free surface, intermolecular space, intermolecular force, and moment. And we have to study about the properties of solid, liquid, gas. In solid, they are having a definite shape. Liquid do not have a definite shape, and gases also do not have a definite shape. Then volume, the solid is having a definite volume. Gases, liquids and gases, liquid is also having a definite volume and gases do not have a definite volume. Then compressibility, solid, not compressible, liquid, compressible, gases, highly compressible. Then fluidity, solid, rigid, cannot flow, liquid, can flow, and gases, easily they are able to flow. Then free surface, many free surfaces are there for solids, only one free surface is there for liquid, and gases do not have any free surfaces. And intermolecular space, in the case of solids, it is negligible, or there is no space between in molecules. Some space is there in the case of liquid, and in the case of gases, large spaces. Then intermolecular force, they are very strong in solids, not so strong in liquids, and gases they are very weak. And movement, solid, there is no movement, only they are just vibration, there is no change of position. They are able to change their position, but within the liquid they are not able to move away out of the liquid. And finally the gases moves freely in all directions. Okay, so this is about the properties of matter. You take your copy and note down this, just to make this table: properties, solid, liquid and gas.